Well, not realizing what good to great's graph looked like, we had been teaching this graph about the impact of lifetime care to practices for years and years. Whereas, let's say it's July 2012, and you got, as a practitioner, 20 new patients a month, and only 2 people stayed. And then the next July, you got 20 new patients, 2013, and only 2 people stayed. In 2014, you had 20 new patients in July, and only 2 people stayed. Do you see how you're not really building anything? You go to work today to get the same number of new people, hopefully to keep you afloat, and after a while, survival becomes the consciousness. When you start to shift the focus to creating lifetime patients, now you get that same 20 new patients, and let's just, for the sake of discussion, be clear that 20 new patients, that's per doctor in an office. So if you have a 1-doctor office, you shoot for 20 per doctor. You have a 2-doctor office, you shoot for 20 per doctor. You with me? So over time, 20 new patients come in, but now this LC stands for lifestyle care. We call it lifestyle care in the 100-year lifestyle model, in the family practice model. Now 20 new patients come in and 16 stay. So now instead of 22 patient commitments, you have 36 patient commitments. With me? And then the next year in July, you have 20 new patients and 32 lifestyle care commitments. Here's how long it takes to quote unquote close somebody. So, Dan, you want to continue on for the next year with your lifestyle care? Say yes.
Yes.
Cool. Very good. Same plan, right?
Yep.
You're on. Cool. Did you time me? How long did that take? See, from a business perspective, your overhead on the new patients, getting the new patients, taking the time, processing them, the billing and everything, the overhead on this part of the practice is 80%. The overhead on this part of the practice, the lifestyle care part, is 20%. So the majority of the profit is on the back end, which is also true. For example, how many of you have been with the same cell service for more than 3 years? Raise your hand. Okay, how many of you have been with the same cell service for 5 years? Raise your hand. Okay, it cost them the first year, it cost them much more to get you as a customer than it did to keep you as a customer in year 2, 3, 4, and 5. True or not true? The same thing happens in a practice. That's why we want you to build a practice that's enduring. That's why, quite honestly, when I say that we're working a lot, doing a lot of stuff in the profession, which I know so many of you know that we do, we think it's a tragedy that the last 100 years that we have been focusing as a profession and as individual practitioners on the crisis care piece of what we do only. Because we have created 90% of the population as inactive files of the people that have come to see us. See, we don't want you to do that in your community. That is not our begin with the end in mind strategy. So when you look at it year after year, by the 4th or 5th year, now you have 20 new people, now 60 people recommitting to lifestyle care. That's a game changer for a practice, let me tell you something. That's 80 commitments in a month. We had one of our affiliates from California shoot me a text message and said, we signed up 54 people for lifestyle care this month. She's been doing this now 5 years. Let me tell you something. Do you know how much freedom that creates for you in a practice?